Yo, what's up? I'm Tida, and I'm back with another Cardfight Vanguard Dear Days 2 deck profile. Today we're going to be taking a look at a deck that I really like. I really enjoy the dress up she got. There's some new cards that work for it, and a new tech that I decided to try out that I actually ended up really liking. I'm talking about the #1 bunny girl, Haseritt. She has a fun little ability that gives most every rearguard in the deck an additional 7k and the ability to bot deck themselves and draw a card at the end of the battle that they attack the Vanguard. So before we get into the deck profile, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know if there's any decks you'd like me to cover, and let's go ahead and get straight into it. Alright, so starting with the ride line, the grade 0 can be whatever you want it to be. The best ride line for Haseritt is in fact the Haseritt ride line, which does require you to run the grade 1 and 2 going into the grade 3. So grade 0 is your standard when rode upon if you win second draw a card. Grade 1 is when this unit is rode upon by a grade 2 with Haseritt in its card name, choose up to one grade 2 or less normal unit from your hand, call it to rearguard circle. Until end of turn, it gets plus 2k, and at the end of the battle, this unit attack the Vanguard, draw a card, and put this unit on the bottom of your deck. Next, we have the grade 2 Haseritt. When this unit's rode upon by a grade 3 with Haseritt in its card name, Soul Blast 1, choose up to one grade 3 or less card from your hand and call it to rearguard circle. If you called a card, draw a card. And then we have the main card of the deck, PhosphorescenceStream Haseritt. I definitely said that right. She has two abilities. The first one is in an act during main phase. You will EB3, choose up to 5 of your normal unit rear guards, and until end of turn, they get at the end of the battle this unit attacked, draw a card and put it on the bottom of the deck, and plus 2k. Her second ability is at the beginning of your battle phase. You'll Soul Blast 1 until end of turn. All your units with Haseritt in their card name, grade 3 units with original power of 12k or less, grade 2 with original power of 9k or less, and grade 1s with 7k or less can attack from the back row and get an additional 5. So I will say the one thing about this deck is it's always 1 or 2k short of hitting magic numbers, which is, you'll see why I put a little tech card in here. Because all these units have weird power numbers. Weird power numbers. They are numbers that are power. Such as a grade 3 Milia, who is an 11k. But with Haseritt's help, becomes an 18k. So speaking of, let's go ahead and take a look at our grade 3s, and then I'll kind of go over how the deck runs. So speaking of, let's go ahead and take a look at our main deck, and then I'll go over kind of how the deck operates. So the first one we run is Milia, Wish Fulfilled by a Pair Milia. She's a grade 3, 11k power, 18k with Haseritt's ability. When she is placed on rearguard, CB1, search your deck for up to one Dreaming Pupils Emmeline and call it to an open rearguard and shuffle your deck. Next, we run 3 copies of Persona Ride for obvious reasons. After that, we run Olaniel. Sure, I said that right. I'm very good at pronouncing these names. When she's placed on rearguard circle from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Haseritt in its card name, you put a grade 2 or less card from hand into soul. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to one grade 3 with 12k or less, grade 2 with 9k, or grade 1 with 7k or less among them. Call it to rearguard and shuffle your deck. If you did not call a card, draw a card. So a fun little combo with her is on your grade 2 turn, you slam her, put a card into soul, check top 7, and if you find the grade 3, you can call the grade 3. She has no grade restriction. It does not have to be equal to or less than your Vanguard. She just straight up lets you call whatever you find that matches that power. Next, we have Sylphia. When your other rearguard is put on the bottom of your deck during your battle phase, Soul Blast 1, and she gets plus 10k until end of turn. Her second ability is at the end of the battle, this unit attack hit a Vanguard, put this unit on the bottom of the deck, draw a card, and countercharge 1. So the way she works is the red text from the Vanguard is resolved no matter what. So if her attack hits a Vanguard, you activate her ability first to bot deck her, draw a card, and countercharge. And then even though she's already on the bottom of the deck, the second half of red text will activate and you will draw a second card. So she is essentially on hit, countercharge 1, draw 2, which is really, really nice. Plus she gives herself an extra 10k. So Haseritt makes her a 15, and then her extra 10 makes her a 25. Again, like I said, we're always just a few K short of hitting magic numbers. Next, we have Valfer. Valfer does not benefit from the 5k from Vanguard, but this deck does have a little bit of a soul problem and no real draw engine. Pretty much all the cards replace themselves, but only Sylphia can actually plus you a card. So Valfer is here to help you with your soul issue, and then you don't have a lot of counterblast sinks in this deck, so she's there to also draw you a card for CB1. And then if you are on Persona Ride, when she attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, if you have a card in the soul with the same card name as your Vanguard, this unit gets plus 5k till end of that battle. I mean, technically you don't have to be on Persona Ride. If she soul charged a copy of your Vanguard, it activates also. But that puts her at base 15. A lot of times I will sometimes end up calling over her just to get bigger units on board, but there's a lot of times where I find myself one soul short of being able to activate Haseritt's ability and Sylphia's ability, so I slam her, soul charge 1, and now we're cooking. Next is another new card that Haseritt got, and I absolutely love this card. I think this card is great. It's so random they gave it the first ability, but I am all about it. So when she's placed on rearguard circle from hand, if you have a Vanguard with Haseritt in its card name, choose a crit from your drop and you may put it on the bottom of the deck. I don't know why they gave her that ability, but hey, I am not complaining. Putting crits back in the deck is cool with me. Then if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Haseritt in its card name, CB1, search your deck for up to one grade 2 card. Basically a grade 2 or grade 1 with a different name from her that match those power requirements. The grade 2, 9k or less, grade 1, 7k or less. Then you shuffle the deck and she gets an additional 5k, which means she is 19. No, 8 plus 5 is 13 plus 7 is 20. So she becomes a 20k with Haseritt's power boost plus her own power boost, which isn't bad. Next, we have our 3 PGs, because you know PGs. You have to run the bunny ones for no reason other than keeping it on theme. And then next we have 4 Emmeline. This is a card that the grade 3 searches out. So she is, again, another odd numbered unit as a grade 1 with only 7k power. But if you have 3 or more other rear guards, she gets an additional 5, which puts her to 12. And with Haseritt's power buff makes her a 19k booster, which is actually pretty nice. And if you have to slam her in the back row to attack, because remember Haseritt does allow something to attack from the back middle row that meets the power requirements. If you check a single trigger, give her some power, she's now 29k, which is an amazing number, but it's, you know, it's a number. It's you asking for a 30k shield, or it's asking for at least a 20k shield. Next, we have Munch Munch Lunch Kalina. When your rear guard is put on the bottom of your deck during your battle phase, if you have a Vanguard with Haseritt in its card name, this unit gets plus 5k till end of turn. So Haseritt puts her at 15, and usually if you're going to have her on field, you want to swing or boost with her last. So essentially, whatever this card's boosting, you want to swing with first, because it will bot deck itself. And, you know, at some point she will lose her bonus 5k because there won't be enough other rear guards. Then she gets 5k. Now swing another unit, bot deck that, she gets another 5k. So she puts herself to 23, you know, easily. So you have a 23k booster, which is pretty nice if you swing with her last, or boost with her last. 23k swing from back row if you swing with her. If you stack a trigger on her, 33k, which is actually a decent number. Next, for the trigger lineups, we do run the Lyrical Over trigger. I played around with several different OTs. Playing it to a friend in the Yume no Kesho Cup, though, they ripped Lyrical OT on grade 2 with Haseritt, and the numbers that stared at me during the grade 3 turn were kind of scary. You have to look, essentially this plus Haseritt, you're giving all your rear guards plus 17k. And that's, you know, big number is big is good. Next we run standard, 8 crits, 4 heals. I run 3 draws. Deck doesn't have a lot of draw power. I am considering this deck does cycle cards a lot. A lot of the times a draw trigger ends up in your hand off of the red text from your Vanguard. I have been contemplating switching to fronts for more defense and a little more aggression. I think it's definitely a flex spot. You could go with either. I really like draws, especially if you're on the back foot and you hit a defensive draw. It can be a game changer. But I think you could easily run front in here as well, and it would up the shield value. Next, we run this card. This card's crazy in this deck. This is Super Aesthetic Shot. You play it with CB1, which is fine, because as you've seen, we have 3 cards that actually use CB in this deck besides this one. And one of them's just for an optional draw. One of them you don't always use. And then the 2 of them, you know, 2 of them are board builders. One of them's an optional draw. You're not always going to need to build a board. You're not always going to need to draw a card. You should always have at least 1 CB open for this card. So when you slam Super Aesthetic Shot, all your rear guards are going to get an additional 5k, which means all your rear guards are getting an additional 12 because of Haseritt's ability. And then if OT is live offensively, all your rear guards are getting an additional 22k. This one helps with hitting the numbers. So if we go back to Sophia, you know, we give her the 7k, she's at 15, she gives herself 25. 25, bad number. An additional 5, 30, good number. Still blockable with the front trigger, but much better than before. It takes more than just a 15k shield. And then if you put a trigger on her, that's now 40k. The numbers just scale up a lot better. Super Aesthetic Shot has allowed me to pretty much ignore opponents' defensive triggers. You know, outside of it being the OT, of course. I don't even want to talk about how many times that happened. But yeah, if they hit a defensive trigger, essentially it cancels out Super Aesthetic Shot because the whole column has an additional 10k. If you're on Persona Ride, I mean, your numbers just get bigger and bigger. 60k columns, 70k columns. The deck also consistently does hit 4 attacks, which is really nice. Next, I'm running Caliburn. Mainly just for the draw 2. You want to have a full board every turn. You're not really ever going to use it for the counter charge, but yeah, the draw 2 is the main reason I run it. I have been thinking about running the Skyride promo one, the Regalis piece. It's basically an energy cycler, just because no matter whether you go first or second, you're always going to have at least 3 extra energy just sitting there because you only use 3 energy a turn. But energy is so tight in this deck that it's not worth putting in cards that use energy. So I put this one in for the draw. I think the Vergilla start deck, Regalis piece would also go good in here. You could really go with either one. And then, of course, 1 copy of Elementaria. So this deck is really fun. It can actually push really hard early game aggression. And then once you get to your grade 3, if you're punching down, your numbers just become very good. So one thing I like to do on the grade 2 turn, when it rides on the grade 1, you call a card from hand. I typically like to call Adorable Shooter and shove a card into Soul. Hope in the top 7, I check Milla, slam Milla, CB1, and call out Emmeline. So now your opponent's at grade 1, and they have a grade 3 boosted by a grade 1 staring at them. She's now a 12k unit. This column right here is now an 18k column, and then whatever triggers you check. You can also, if you have a Kaolina in hand, you slam Adorable Shooter, hard into Soul, find Milia, slam Milia, CB1, call Emmeline behind Adorable Shooter, and then slam Kaolina behind Milia. So what that's going to do is she will now get the bonus 5k. This puts her at 12 and puts her at 12. So this is now a 24k column. When Adorable Shooter bot decks herself, because grade 1 going into grade 2, she gets the red text. Kalina gets an additional 5, which now puts this column at 22k. It's just a bunch of little things like that. You can even... She will proc Sylphia's ability. So if you call a card off of the grade 2 into the grade 1 to the grade 2 and give it the red text of bot decking itself, whenever it bot decks itself, Sylphia's ability is not grade locked. So when that card bot decks itself, you can Soul Blast 1 and give her an extra 10, making her base 18k. And then if she hits, you get to draw a card, bot deck her, and countercharge 1. And if she doesn't hit, she's on the field for next turn. But that red text does proc her ability since it's not grade locked. So you do have some pretty good early game. It'll leave your hand kind of small. You know, 2 or 3 cards just depending. That is why I do run the draw triggers. I do worry about not having enough cards. The nice thing though is 3 of your cards every turn will replace them by bot decking themselves and drawing another card. The only ones that won't are the 2 rear guard boosters. Now, I know there's other builds for this that allow you to get more attacks. You can do 5, I think even 6 attacks, but they're all very, very small pokes that have very weird numbers, and I don't like them. I would rather go for a consistent 4 attack deck that has good numbers. Super Aesthetic Shot has been crazy in this deck. It's probably one of my favorite changes I've made to it. I've been toying around with Haseritt since before we got the new Haseritt. And this list right here is very solid. It's not a meta deck by any means. It does struggle with the long game. But if you can go first and you can get in there fast and hard, then you can take your opponent out before they can really set up. Most of the times you are going to lose a grind game unless your units just cycle themselves into PGs or other very useful cards. This deck is not meant for the long grind. It is meant to hit hard and fast. And by your Persona right turn, your second grade 3 turn, you should be killing your opponent or there's a good chance you lose. So that's the full deck profile. With that done, let's go ahead and watch the deck in action. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and if there's any other decks you'd like to see me cover, let me know down below. I hope you all enjoyed this deck and enjoy the game. I like to include a match attached to the deck profile video so that like people can see how the deck plays. I feel like it's one thing to go over a deck profile and say what cards do. It's another to also show it. Oh, we win again, baby. We're going first. Okay, crit can go down, you can go. Dude, I'm gonna do 4 back, actually. Ooh. This is actually a pretty good hand. I'm gonna ditch a crit because she can just box deck the crit, then she'll shuffle it back into deck. Yeah, we're in a pretty good spot. This is a pretty good opening hand. Oh, I wonder if they're playing Glass. Heading out to enjoy dinner. Have a good stream. Have a great dinner, Chugi. Thank you for hanging out. Ooh, they are playing Glass. I really like this deck. I think it's a really cool deck. I think Glass is a very neat deck. It just sucks that when Glass came out, Shoujo Doji was like the meta threat. So with Shoujo running around as a meta threat, it was so hard for them to shine because Shoujo just, you know, destroys this deck since it can interact with their bind zone. Oh no, that's not good. I needed that card. That's fine. But without Shoujo running around as much now, I think it's a very cool deck. I will ditch you. Yeah, we'll ditch you. Activate that. So Shoujo Doji could bot deck cards from their bot. You run into them all the time. Well, okay, I meant like IRL, not Dear Days. Like Shoujo Doji has died down IRL. I don't know how it is on Dear Days, but IRL Shoujo Doji has like all but disappeared. And there it is, boys. We're getting the grade 3 out on our grade turn 2 again. Too easy. Dear Days all day long. I I see. Where do I call it? If I call it here, I get a much better number. If I call it here, that number becomes weird unless I swing this first. Or I can force Vanguard to hit. Because if this swings... I'm gonna call it here. Oh yeah, it's not getting the bonus power anyways, duh. I don't have enough rear guards on board. All right. Your friend plays your remote play, try and counter it, but ooh, nice draw trigger. Yeah, I mean, Shoujo's a good deck. I don't know. Shoujo, the problem Shoujo has is it's, for the most part, it's a bunch of little pokes. So, one defensive can make their turn extremely guardable, and two defensives can kind of shut down their whole turn, so... Ooh, no trigger. That's unfortunate. It sucks because she's 1k short from having like a magic number. This is just a trigger to guard. Yeah, there it is. The thing I hated about Shoujo is the whole bind from hand thing. That was the thing that annoyed me a lot. Chat, we got super aesthetic shot. Okay, we put them to 2, and we have super aesthetic shots. Whatever damage they throw my way this turn, I'm eating it, and I'm attempting to murder them this next turn. Please hit me for 2 damage, please. Please, I need 2 damage. Okay, they're not hitting me for... Maybe they'll crit me. Actually, if they don't crit me, that's... Shoot. Oh, no. Please crit me. Please crit me. Yes! Okay, cool. It's weird that I want to crit, but I want to activate this and that. Okay, that's fine. I want to proc both of them. I want to do that and super aesthetic. I want to try and clap them out in this one turn. God. If you had a chat bot be like, thanks for the crit, baby. Sometimes you want to eat that crit. Yes, sir. Yo, what's up, Lowski Toski? Welcome in. How you doing? Yeah, because I want to slam Sinin, and I want to slam super aesthetic shot. I'm trying to slam both of them and just go face and see if I can clap them out this turn. All right, what do I want to ditch? I want to keep you. I could ditch this card. That's fine. Actually, no. I'll ditch a super aesthetic. No. Yeah, I'll ditch. Oh, I'll ditch that. That's fine. I don't know. Maybe that was the wrong choice. Soul Blast that out. We get back into Vanguard after years, so I'm looking around. Hell yeah. Welcome on in. What did we draw? Another one? Okay, cool. I'll take that. All right, let's go ahead. Bot deck a crit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are there any newer decks you've been looking at? Actability, CB1. Let's go ahead and... Who do I grab? I think I grab her, actually. So that way I don't have to do a really weird swing order. All right, chat. Here's where we get big. Here's where we get large. We play super aesthetic shots. All my rear guards get plus 5k. EB3. We're gonna give all my rear guards plus 2k. And then beginning a battle phase, we're going to Soul Blast one and give them all another 5k. Do I know anyone trying to get rid of Franz? Nah. Nah, bro. That's like a staple. Whenever that card dropped and I saw it was being used as a generic in JP, I copped the playset like instantly. They have 9 cards in hand, so they might survive this turn. Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Your deck got stolen? Oh yeah, I forgot you told me about that, so you had to rebuild. Nah, bro. Oh, they're so cooked. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to do this to you. Oh, they're so dead. If they hit defensive OT, I'm gonna be so mad because I have like such a good field right now. Oh, they do heal. Damn, unfortunate. Oh no. Okay, all right. We're still in a good spot. They're at 3. And I have 3 attacks left that are all going to be really big. This is going to be 47. This is going to be 50. And then that's going to be, I don't know, another number. Okay, or they could just double heal. Sure. Sure, just double heal, I guess. Dude, I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best. Alright, she's gonna Soul Blast 1 and gain 10k, which will put her to 50. My numbers are still really big. My numbers are still really big, so... And then she'll gain 5k since something bot decked itself. Now, if she hits, I get to draw 2 cards and countercharge 1. Yeah, that's 58, or that's 48 right there. No, it's gonna be 53. Yes, sir, 50k. I stacked both trigger powers on her, and then she gives herself an additional 10. Oh, they guarded it. I wonder if they know that she draws 2 cards. All right, now she will bot deck herself, and I will draw a card. What are we drawing, boys? Another crit, okay. And then she will gain another 5k, putting her to 28. Damn, he's at 3. He's going to end the turn at 4 damage. Unless he guards 53k. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't think we die with this hand. This hand's pretty good. At least we know he's 2 heals out of deck. Okay, this gotta be a no guard. Yeah, too many cards. If I'm at low damage and it's gonna eat up too many cards from hand, I just simply don't guard it. And we drew a PG. Oh, let's go. She gains another 5k. Not that it matters, but... Alright, so we have Elementaria, PG, 4 triggers, and a draw trigger in hand. And then both of these cards bot deck a crit. So whenever I slam these cards, I get to bot deck one of my crits, and then I CB1, search my deck for a card, and shuffle. So essentially next turn, I'm going to shuffle 2 crits back into my deck. Oh yeah, I forgot Glass makes me draw cards too. The only thing we don't have is Persona Ride, but we do have another super aesthetic shot, so I'm not overly worried. Like, you saw how big my numbers get without Persona Ride, so... And honestly, whatever damage they give me, I'm willing to eat. Oh yeah, I forgot I have to call a card. Sure, whatever. Oh, I have to call 3 cards? But Persona will get 70 plus, right? Just depending on what my board ends up being. We'll see what cards they end up retiring here. Dude, absolutely no guard. Okay, that's fine. It's not like now, if he gained a crit, I would be a little more pressed, but I'm overly not worried. I will simply no guard. He can't kill me this turn no matter what, even if he rips OT right here. Okay, that's fine. I go to 4, which is good. Low-key, I'm fine with going to 5, so I can use all 3 of those cards. Yeah, it's my turn. Oh no, I don't heal. Womp. Oh, womp, womp. Yeah, Vanguard swings twice. Does it keep the crit though, or it re-rides, right? Yeah, re-rides. Does it get a drive check or no? Yes, I would like to draw a card. Does this thing get a drive check or no? Yeah, I don't think it does. It's just another swing. At 1 damage, I'll take it. Yeah. If this thing gets a drive check, then I'm dumb and I threw, but I don't think it does, so I will simply just eat it. Okay, yeah. Oh, and a draw trigger. Dude, this hand is fat, bro. Give you a match if they drive? Nah, they don't. Alright, so it's time to cook, boys. I don't have Persona Ride, which is crazy after I drew that many cards, but that's fine. Also, going to 5 prevents them from healing if they hit another heal trigger. Okay, so no Persona Ride, unfortunate. I'm contemplating slamming this just to no, I think these will be fine. All here, right? Yeah. I should have guarded with at least 1 crit that game. But that's fine. I actually don't even need to activate both of their abilities. I could have stayed at 4 and guarded some of those crits, and it actually probably would have been better. Or guarded with some crits so I could bot deck more. That actually would have been better. Should I see if I can find... I don't think there's anything better to find. I think she's good. There's nothing really else I need. I guess I could just do this. Well, no, because it's not going to shuffle in, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, we just call. We're not going to activate. I don't have any crits to bot deck. And then we just slam Super Aesthetic Shot. Okay, I think Super Aesthetic Shot is a sauce that this deck has been missing. Low key, high key. Number get big. Oh shit, I actually did mess up. I messed up. I only have 1 soul. I should have damn. Oh, I should have slammed her to soul charge and draw a card first. What do I have? Okay. Actually, I did mess up. I did mess up. I think Super Aesthetic Shot is I get the red text, right? You get... Okay. Yeah, alright. So... I gotta do it like this. It's fine. This will actually work out. This will work out just fine. Put you into soul. Do Lyricals have a gun cycle? They do. I just don't run it in this deck. Okay, perfect. I'll grab the grade 3. Yeah. I'll grab the grade 3 and I'll just call it over her. She's going to be 2k less than she would have been, but she'll be 5k bigger than the other card would have been. Do I want to activate her ability? No, we don't. Not activate. All right. Cool. Okay, now we're in a better position. I needed 2 soul to do what I needed to do. Little bit of a misplay, but nothing we can't come back from. Boom. Okay, now all my units are big again. Oh my god, dude. Super Aesthetic Shot is a sauce this deck has been missing. Yeah, if I could have seen that card. Nah, it's all good. I knew I had it in hand. I just, I VT recovered it? Yeah. Like, I knew I had it in hand. I just, I forgot that I needed more soul. Oh, they're dead. Ooh, also, she doesn't have the red text, which does suck. Okay, card games had animations for attackers. So, oh, and we get to heal. Oh my god, bro. We'll put power here. Dude, yeah, because Lyrical Overtrigger gives plus 10k to all my units, so everything even bigger now. Yeah, it would like, if they added like full-on animations in this game, it would just take way too long to, it would just take way too long to do the attacks. Alright, time to do some 79,000, bro. No Persona Ride. Overtrigger's insane in this deck. Overtrigger's insane in this deck, bro. 79k, no Persona Ride. I misplayed a little. Dude, even if, the funny part is, I don't need the Soul Blast for that anymore. She's got 100 mil. We're fine. Even if I don't die this turn, my hand is so big. Like, I have, what, 3 or 4 PGs in hand? Dude, they can't beat me. They can't beat me. Oh, I should have actually done that last. In case they check Overtrigger here. I'm actually dumb. Okay, cool. We got it.